Hello everyone and welcome back to Out of Order. I'm your host JC. So I was going to do some bagger work and then do this roof, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the roof and the floor over there. And then I really want to change this up over here. I'm just not quite sure how I want to do this. But I'm pretty sure I think I'm going to put in a big giant concrete pad down here, and it's going to be like 2 foundation blocks deep so that I can put in some dirt and put these water pumps on top of it, and then have out that way the coal and stuff for doing that. So for now we're just going to go through here. We're going to put all these in real quick. Shouldn't take too long. I still have to do the vents on the other end. And I know it's not your normal out of ore video with digging and so on and so forth, but I mean, this is part of the game too, you know, finishing off your buildings. Let's just do it 2 at a time this time. It should do 3, but it's fine. It won't take us too long to do this. We'll do the other. And I think I'm just going to tear up everything down there and then get a concrete foundation and figure out how to connect to that point from there, because it should all connect. Should. I don't know for sure that I have the original water line on grid though, so it may not work like I want it to. And if that's the case, that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt, because then I'll have to move everything else around to make it work. I think it'll work though. Yeah, concrete foundation, 2 blocks deep, so that way I have a spot to put. What I'll do is I'll put all the pumps in where I want them, and then I'll come back through and like make sure all the lines and stuff connect the way I want it to, and then come back through and put the dirt in there, raise them up so that it's the correct height, and then everything after that will be easy to fix. The idea is to have everything kind of in a line though, instead of having it trail out in a distance at an angle. And then do the same thing on the other side when I put in the coal farms and oil farm with coal plots. Put them in so I have an open floor. Well, it'll be 2 blocks deep also. It's hard to explain, but basically what it's going to look like is, let's see if I have any on me real quick. Yeah, I do. I'll tear this out in a second. Wrong spot. I want those there. So what it's going to look like is it's going to go like, let's say the pump is 2 deep. So you'll have one floor like this. I can take all this out in a second. And the next floor will be something like this, with the pump that sits on top of a bunch of dirt that's going to be right here, and then have that go all the way across down there. I think it'll work. I still haven't tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure when I get it all put together it's going to work out great. This is a trial and error kind of thing, so I may do it on a test server first and then come back. But I mean, so far most of my things have worked, so hopefully this one will too. But I want to get that done, get that switched over to generator fuel and fuel generators instead, and then get my ramp finished off that's down over there, and then I'll be caught up to where I want to be. Did I just put one down there? No, I didn't. Okay. And then I'll have to think of some new ideas, but that'll be the finishing off of these ideas here so far that I've been contemplating the last couple of days, and starting and then not finishing. And so if anybody has any ideas, go ahead and toss them in the comments. I mean, I'm willing to try things out. This one here I came up with because I just don't like the way those windmills look over there. Looking out that window, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of kind of off-putting, especially with some of them off the ground. They're not level. The water pumps are hanging up in the air, so none of them are really doing anything. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is how to connect power to the oil refineries without having to run a second power source. I want it to run off the same power source, and then if I do that, that's the part I'm concerned about, not be able to figure out. Because I could run a second one back where it like has extra how do I say this? Like run an extra one, so all it does is it runs power for the oil refineries, but then still has fuel sent back to it. Like split it off and have it come back. But I think I'll have to have like 2 of those because they're max 28, and each oil refinery is going to be like 300, not including pipes. It's 55, 55, 55, and then the pump itself. So like I'd have oil refinery. I'd have this, which uses 100 kilowatts, and then 3 of these, which use 55 each. So that's like 265 plus the pipes. And if it's all in one power source, I only need 1 of these, so each one's 100 kilowatts there, so 365 kilowatts of power needed to run one, not including the pipes. So I'm thinking like probably 500, so I'm going to get 5 oil factories off of one setup, unless I can split it off and have part of it go to the pump and then part of it go to each power that's going to run the plant itself. I'm just not sure how I'm going to connect it all together and make it work. Since I won't actually be connected from the power generator to the incoming power fuel. That's the part I'm trying to figure out that I can't quite wrap my head around. But this is going to be done, this video here is going to come out Thursday, so I'm going to work on it Thursday during the day and have it come out Friday. So hopefully, if it works like I want it to, we'll have it a little showcase of a new power source way of doing things. Obviously we know we can do it with wind power, but I want to see if we can do it with other powers that we have to refill or do stuff like that too. I think it'll make a huge difference though, because if it works the way I think it's going to, we'll never have to worry about power again, because it'll just be full all the time. If it doesn't, then it's going to be something that I'm going to have to revamp in a way somehow. But I think it'll work. Alright, so let's get this done here. Get that section over there, and to put the vents on here. Then we'll get going on finishing off that flooring out there. Getting some of it painted. Like I said, I'm probably going to go through and just tear this down tomorrow. I do need to, again, add test it out on a different map. I'll go into a creative mode and see what I can figure out. Probably tonight, and then be able to do it tomorrow. Two, three, and the last will be 2, so that's fine. And then we just got to put in the vent covers, so like, you know, if it ever rains, it doesn't, you know, fill it up with water. That's the whole idea of that. I wish they had like a half roof. And I also need to decide if we want to paint this or not too, this building. Because this is a lot of red. And before Rob answers me with pink, does anybody have any suggestions for colors? Alright, let's get this piece here. I have no more triangles? Really? Alrighty, we'll go into buildings. We'll grab, I think I only need 2 of these, right? Per one, so 8 of them total. So 8, and we'll put that right here real quick. And we want them facing the same direction, so we'll go like this. And then put these pieces on real quick. What the heck? There we go. So the roof is now done. Easy. Looks good, I think. Now I will take the stairs down just because, you know, why jump off the roof and break a leg? I do need to switch these out for the floors. I don't need these right now. That can go back up there. I don't need this. I will need to buy some paint. If I don't have enough to do this, I'll have to go back and see if I have any more steel floors finished too. I wish they made like a steel floor ramp like this too, that you could like add to your top of your concrete blocks for going down at like a 45-degree angle or something. How many do I need more? There's a lot of blocks going in here. There's going to be a lot of paint going in here. I may not paint this today. What I should do is probably get the rest of those ramps put in. So all I have to do is paint this and then redo that power, which that's going to take a while. So I might actually put on all the concrete blocks ahead of time so that I just go through and lay down how I want it set out after the fact. Because I'll be able to figure everything out on a test, the text of the test map. And then after that, it'll be fairly easy, I think. And I said, sorry, I know it's not your normal digging video, but this is something I've been putting off, trying to finish off, and I didn't really want to do it off camera completely. And then maybe I'll do the painting off camera is what I'll do. But get some of these projects that we started half-assed, got them done, and then decided that we had other things to work on. So I do, like I said, I do want to put in some roads too that head back over, like through that way over there, and then one that heads back in over that way. That's the reason why I put the ramps down to begin with, so that we can haul stuff around if we want. Obviously we have a lot of material coming in with the baggers, but there might be other stuff that we want that we're not getting a lot of here, like maybe we go find a copper node somewhere, do some test drilling and see if we can find copper somewhere. I mean, I know getting down to solid rock that usually you can find copper around there. We might get some coming up here in the near future when we come across here too. I don't know. Let's see, I'm going to do 3 on this one so we can just do 2 on the last one. Try to get these put in as quick as possible. I know that And again, it's like, 3:30 in the morning. I just got off work, so I'm trying to be proficient and talk through kind of what I'm doing, but I also want to, no offense, get it over with and go to sleep. I do like doing this. Coming up with ideas sometimes is difficult, though. Especially like when you've done like several things like repeatedly, like the bagger, for instance. I know a lot of people like to watch the bagger, but it's very repetitive, and plus there's a lot of material going through the system, so it's hard to keep up with it sometimes. You got to have something at the end to finish it off, or I have to do a jump cut to be able to finish it off. And like one time I did it, and I sat here for an hour and a half waiting for all the material to finish off before I could actually finish the video, because we had put so much material through. And we're not even using the biggest bagger either. We're only using the second biggest bagger. Well, I guess third, because there's two 695s, but you guys know what I mean. And then I also got to finish off that down there, the ramps to go down that way too, because that one's the one that's going to be able to have the fuel truck access where the bagger's at. If I don't have that one, we're kind of can't refuel the bagger, so I could bring it over around down the other side, drive it up, and then drop it off the edge to fill up the bagger right now. But I'm hoping there's enough fuel in there to get all the way across, so when I start doing my next cut back, I can reach it from the other side and then refill it before I start coming back across this way. And of course, I also need to put in some, I guess, pillars and ceiling tiles, for no better way of putting it, so we have a like a roof structure for the parking area too. I'm probably going to leave part of it open though, like, because I don't want to go all the way to the factory over there, but like this section from let me see where this ramp is over here real quick. What I was thinking is like at this ramp right here, of putting posts going up, and then have all of this area over here be like a full parking structure with a roof on it. So we used up almost all the steel floors, but not all of them. Look at that, a tree growing up right there that I know I cut down. We can actually leave that one though. I don't think we need to have that there. So I'm going to move all of these up real quick because I need these up here to finish this. Alright, so 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 8. And I have been filling in the sides because I want to have it look somewhat like plausible, I guess, for no better way to put it. Alright, back to 6 real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in here, there, and then come back and do the same thing over here. Now my next thing is, I don't know if I should have it turn again, or should I have it come out here and then go down? Because I could put a platform right here and then have it go down that way. It just means we're going to go out further. I think I'm going to come straight out. So let's go back to this one. Turn that around. Really? And we'll get these put in real quick. And then number 9. And I could technically, if I block this out right here, just finish off this corner over here with these pieces and have this be the end of it. And then go 8, and that's it. Now I could take and flatten it out a little bit. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button again. Here we go. Let's get this one going. Flatten this out. But I think if I do this, get it all nice and flat, that this truck, which I'm using as the fuel truck as the one to test it with, shouldn't be a problem. Since this has 18,000 fuel in it, it should be worked fine for the dump truck if I need to have a dump truck come up here. Obviously we can't use like the 500 on here, but yeah, I mean, that's doable, I guess. The other thought is I just have it come straight out. Instead of turning down here, have it come straight out that way. But for now, that's done. I really want to tear up that power and redo that over there. Yeah, I'm going to paint this up later on. What we're going to do right now is we're going to come over here, we're going to get out of this thing, and we're going to go back here and start tearing up this power, because I'm going to change that up. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to make it work, but we're definitely going to make it work. So we are not going to have power for a little while here. And I'm just going to start by tearing up all the windmills, because those are going to go away. And then all of that up there is going to go away too, but it's going to be different. So let's get rid of this. And then I'm going to run out to the very end and work it all back. Because I think that I kind of want to have it down at this level. So I'm going to have to figure out how to work the concrete around that. I think if the idea works like I want it to, you guys are going to be impressed though. So we're going to start by just tearing it down, and then on the next episode we're going to work on putting it back together the way I want to do it. Not need, but want. I will have the concrete foundation in before we start the next one. And obviously I'm going to have some sort of, I'll have to buy a little bit of generator fuel to get it started, but I think this will work. That wasn't supposed to happen. Well, we'll have the unrealistic jumps then, and we'll get the rest of these out. But I think that I'm going to leave the first one in there, because I got to figure out how to get the concrete to work with this setup here. So something like doing this, and having this come under here like this, and we'll start from there. Obviously there's going to be dirt in that one, but so what I want is for it to sit. So ultimately this is going to go down like this, so we have our level down here at this height here, and then this block up here is going to be filled in with dirt or whatever, and these will all be connected that way. That's going to do it for this one. I know it's a little bit shorter and not quite the same thing we're used to, but this is something I wanted to work on and get done, so I'm going to make this work and make it happen somehow. Thanks for stopping by. I guys hope you guys liked it. If you do, click that like button. It really helps out the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. And like I said, there's going to be a giant concrete platform out here because I'm going to have coal or oil refineries over there with oil derricks over there with 3 refineries connected to it, so that we can have power over here. This may have to move out because I also need to have coal plants on here somehow. But I think if I do it like this and then something like this, it needs to be a 3x3 for the refinery or the power plant. I can put one like this and then have the next one be 3. So it's going to stretch out quite a ways. I think this will work. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any tips, tricks, questions, concerns, ideas on how to do this, I'm more than willing to look at those before I actually do the video. I would appreciate it, and I will see you guys later. Have a good day.